Hey, what is going on, guys? So yes, we're going to be discussing the recent Liver King controversy, but don't worry, I'm going to be talking about things that other people have not really talked about much, and I'm going to be skipping over a lot of the things that other people have talked about too much at this point. The bulk of this video is going to be a response to his recent apology, which I took a lot of issue with, but I also want to talk about things he said in the past about vegans, which now in the context of what he has done, which is, take steroids to help his hormonal problems, makes him look extremely silly. I also want to talk about the people who are responding to his apology, saying things like, oh, this is such a respectful apology and you're such a man for doing this, because I take large issue with comments like that as well. So let's start from the beginning. Everybody knows who Liver King is. Contrary to what many people think, I've actually watched a lot of his content. When you're somebody very much into the fitness side of the internet and who is interested in fitness from a more scientific perspective, it was extremely obvious that Liver King was and is still on steroids. My certainty on Liver King being on steroids, like many other people within this section of the internet, was essentially 100%. This is one of the main reasons I watch him so much, because I just found it so fascinating that he could just lie over and over and over to so many people about his PED use. If you look at, the recent video by More Plates, More Dates, which started this whole expose, you'll see that they covered all of these instances in which he was asked, hey, are you taking steroids? Are you on PEDs? And he just said over and over, just with complete confidence, no, I've never touched this stuff and never will. From a psychological perspective, I just found it so interesting how somebody could just be such a con artist on such a large scale over and over and over. So if you don't know how he got caught, essentially email evidence came out exposing Liver King to be taking over $10,000 worth of performance enhancing drugs per month. This detail is extremely important going forward and when we criticize his apology. He did not apologize for lying while having not been caught. He apologized for lying after getting caught. Just remember this detail for when we go forward talking about the people saying, oh my God, this apology was so manly, and oh my God, you have so much integrity, man. Like, what an alpha male, what a manly, primal thing to do, to admit to your mistakes and admit to lying after getting caught. Now let's talk about the vegan thing. If you're not familiar with some of the reasons Liver King gave for taking performance enhancing drugs, the main reasons were something like, oh, I wasn't feeling good cognitively and my growth hormone was below the reference range for the average person. You'll see this in the apology that we cover later. But anyway, this is extremely ironic, and here is why. Liver King markets his ancestral lifestyle as being something that you need to do to feel amazing and kick ass in life. When discussing vegans in the past, he mentioned that vegan diets can miss critically important fat-soluble vitamins, which are vitamin A, D, and K, especially MK4, because it's what fuels the body down to the electron transport chain, but is also involved in creating vitamin K-dependent proteins, activating genes, and making hormones. The making hormones part of that comment is what I want to focus on today. This concern about vegans missing nutrients important for hormone production was made while he himself is following his ancestral lifestyle, which presumably covers these nutritional gaps for hormone production, which apparently the vegan diet contains, yet he is taking loads of peptides and steroids to combat his hormone problems. This is extremely ironic for obvious reasons. Perhaps he just wasn't getting enough MK4. Imagine Liver King making this comment, saying vegans might be missing this vital nutrient which is needed for optimal hormone production, while he himself, with his lifestyle that he's marketing to people to feel better and kick ass in life, not being enough for him to have optimal hormone production and needing to resort to injecting himself with artificial hormones. Not only is this very ancestral, injecting yourself with steroids, we all know that, but definitely not ironic given he's talking about vegans having potential hormone problems while he himself is following his lifestyle, which fills those nutritional gaps, and still he has the need for pharmacological hormone treatment. Just comedy. Oh, and just a side note, the first video I ever did on Liver King was covering that really dumb comment that we just went over. So if you want to see me cover that and debunk all those stupid claims about the nutrients we're missing, you can click the link in the pinned comment. Now let's get on with his amazing and very genuine apology. Oh, and just a heads up, I have a lot to say when it comes to his apology, so I'm going to be responding to it live with no scripts, and I'm going to be on the bottom right of the screen, just pausing and saying things as they come to my mind. All right, here we go with the amazing and very genuine apology.
I'm making this video to apologize because I fucked up, because I'm embarrassed and ashamed, because I lied and I misled a lot of people. I've stated that this is a complicated as fuck topic, at least to me it is, because before social media, I was rich and anonymous, and after social media, I'm still rich, but no longer anonymous, and I never expected this kind of exposure in the public eye.
Okay, so him saying he never expected this kind of exposure in the public eye. If you watch More Plates, More Dates video exposing him, you'll see that he actually had a full-blown plan for this to happen. So to say that he didn't really expect it is kind of insane, because he actually had like an entire social media team invested in, and he put a lot of money into this Liver King icon becoming this thing that grew to immense proportions, and obviously it was to promote his business. So when he says, I never expected this to happen, I don't know what he's trying to say there, or if that's even truthful. Secondly, him saying this is a complicated topic, I don't believe this is a very complicated topic. In short, this dude wanted to promote his lifestyle, okay? And I'm just going to give my basic rundown here of how I view what his business plan was, and I believe it to be very accurate if you really look back at everything he's done. And like I said, I've watched a lot of his content. He has his lifestyle. Obviously, he's promoting it to get people to buy his supplements, because the lifestyle entails the consumption of very disgusting things that most people don't have immediate access to, and most people don't have the palate to consume. So it's like, oh, look, here's his lifestyle that will get you this amazing physique, that'll have you feeling fucking amazing and awesome. But oh wait, you don't have immediate access to bull testicles or bull penis. Oh, also you don't like the taste of them? No problem. I have these supplements. I put them in these capsules that will take away the disgusting taste, and also take away your problem of it's how do I get bull testicles? How do I get liver? Okay, so that was his entire business model. Obviously, the energy he puts out, okay, of like, I'm feeling fucking amazing, I'm feeling like this. He's implying in his marketing that you will feel this way and kick ass if you do the things I do. And the things he does are the ancestral tenets, which primarily or largely involves the consumption of things like liver. The other things he said, like exercising and moving and all that, like we can all agree these are good things to do. But the liver aspect and the supplements, these are things that are pretty much guaranteed that you need to do, right? He's always talking about liver. He's always saying like, eat this way, blah, 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 blah. He's always posting videos of what he eats. And when you have the physique you do, and you're somebody who's new to social media, and you see what he looks like, you're going to say, oh man, I want to look like that. He looks so good. He's shirtless all the time. He's trying to market himself to other people. And we all know that his body is one of the biggest reasons people are so attracted to his message, because it's like, oh my God, he looks so good. So for him to say this is a complicated topic, and other things he's going to say soon, just complete bullshit. There's really nothing complicated about it. He just had a plan. He used steroids to market his body as something that you can develop as a result of following his lifestyle and buying his supplements. And he lied about being on steroids to make his supplements have higher value in people's eyes and make them more likely to buy his supplements. Like, it's not that complicated, really. But anyway, let's just keep going. Let's see what else he has to say.
It's been tricky as fuck to navigate. Well,
yeah, it's going to be tricky to have a plan where you just straight up lie to people about your PED usage, when your PED usage is largely responsible for the way your physique looks. Obviously, he works really hard. There's no doubting that. But to get to this level, to break that threshold of what naturally obtainable looks like, you're going to have to take the shit this guy's taking, not his supplements,
Clearly, I did it wrong. And I'm here now to set the record straight.
Remember, he's here to set the record straight because he got caught, not because he felt some guilt over lying. Okay, you're going to see people in the comments saying things like, this is such a noble thing. This is what I mentioned earlier at the beginning of the video. People saying that he's so manly for coming out. He had no choice. He got caught. If he didn't make this video, he would just look 10 times worse. Okay, nothing about coming out with this video is manly. It's just having common sense. If he didn't make this video, he would look so fucking bad, because it's demonstrably proven that he lied, that he's taking steroids. And again, if you watch More Plates, More Dates video, it's fantastic. It does a great job. It goes over all the lies he put into podcasts and everything. It's undeniable evidence. So there's nothing, manly or noble about just admitting that you lied when the evidence that you lied is so clear, right?
Yes, I've done steroids. And yes, I am on steroids, monitored and managed by a trained hormone clinician.
Very ancestral.
Liver King, the public figure, was an experiment to spread the message, to bring awareness to the 4,000 people.
Okay, this part. First of all, just so you guys can see, he's reading a script, okay? Which makes this apology video even less genuine, in my view. And he's also extremely far away from the microphone. I have my microphone right now set so low so that our levels are the same, like our volumes, for when I record this video and edit it out. And that's probably because he doesn't want to look like he's reading a script so vividly. So he has the script super far as well as the microphone. So the audio in this video is horrific. But anyway, this is the part that I honestly kind of predicted. And I'm not trying to say, haha, I'm so smart, I predicted this, but he starts talking about some of the reasons he's doing what he's doing, right? X amount of men are killing themselves every day, blah, blah, blah. And before he even came out with this apology, I remember talking to my friend. I was telling her, like, I guarantee you he's going to do some sort of like utilitarian thing where he's like, I thought I had to do whatever I could to get this message out. And if that included lying to millions of people about my PED usage, that's what I had to do. And that's kind of what he's setting himself up for here. He starts talking about all these terrible things that are going on and men killing themselves and how he's just such a noble dude trying to stop this terrible instance of men killing themselves at record rates, which obviously those are terrible things, but using these atrocities, using these like horrific things to justify your lying to other people is obviously just disgusting for obvious reasons, right? So I don't know. You'll see here he starts going in and it's like, you don't got to go here, bro. You lied. And very likely you just did this to make money.
A day who kill themselves. The 80,000 people a day that try to kill themselves. Our people are hurting at record rates with depression, autoimmune, anxiety, infertility.
Autoimmune. He just said depression, autoimmune. What is autoimmune? Autoimmune disorders? Like what?
Fertility, low ambition in life. Our young men are hurting the most, feeling lost, weak, and submissive. So I made it my job to model, teach, and preach a simple, elegant solution called ancestral living, the 9 ancestral tenets, so our people no longer have to suffer, so we can collectively express our highest and most dominant form. This is my fight. This is why I exist. While spreading the message, I've been on several podcasts, and when asked if I've ever taken steroids, I've always said no. I don't touch this stuff, not gonna touch this stuff, never touch the stuff.
And we know that the reason he did that was because if he told people he was on steroids, it would devalue these supplements that he's marketing. That's why. It's really that simple. If he told everyone he was on gear, it would make people not want to buy supplements. I saw a comment the other day, I'll try to post it like right now, of someone saying, can I get a refund? I've been buying your supplements for the last year and I feel completely ripped off. Because these people thought these supplements would do something magical to their hormones or to make them feel amazing and all these types of things and make them look like this dude. That's why he didn't tell people he was on stuff. It just devalues the product he's selling. If he was selling steroids, I guarantee you he wouldn't have said he wasn't on steroids. If, of course, assuming it was legal and he can do all these things with it, he would have said, yeah, I'm on this shit and I'm selling it here, buy it. Like his motivation was money.
That was a lie. I've convinced myself that this had nothing to do with the ancestral message. I convinced myself that I'm not a competitive athlete of any kind. So who the fuck am I cheating?
Okay, I watched this part like 5 times because it was just so confusing to me. He says that he convinced himself that he's not cheating anybody because he's not competing in any like other sports. He's not competing with other people, so he's not cheating anyone. And he also said he convinced himself that this had nothing to do with his promotion of the ancestral lifestyle. Obviously, your physique being the front line of your marketing makes taking these steroids, which directly involves altering your physique in an insane way, relevant to your promotion of the ancestral lifestyle. That's very obvious. And the who am I cheating thing, you're cheating and lying to the people who you are telling you're not on PEDs. People are asking you these questions because they really want to know, like, whoa, is all these things he's marketing, these supplements, these tenants, are they really what's like, if I just do those things, will I get a steroid-like physique? Perhaps this guy really knows something. Perhaps there's something, very, very primal that we should be doing and he's promoting it. Maybe I don't need steroids. Maybe I just need to do these things. And that includes these supplements for the people that are too disgusted or don't have the resources to get the liver, testicle, bull penis, whatever type shit he's trying to promote, right? So I doubt highly that he genuinely thought that he wasn't cheating anybody with this. He knows his physique was a cornerstone of his marketing campaign or whatever you want to call it for this. This part is complete bullshit. I can't believe that part. And it being like irrelevant to the ancestral living thing, like, dude, your physique was part of the marketing for the ancestral living and everything you're talking about. These two like things of I convinced myself of this, that's complete bullshit in my view.
I convinced myself that this topic was a placeholder for a far more important conversation. I convinced myself that this would overshadow the 36 years of working out, usually twice a day, without PEDs.
I think that's bullshit. You can't really believe anything he says at this point. If he went on to lie to the capacity he did in the last year, what makes you think what he just said was truthful? There's going to be probably new emails from 10 years ago of him talking about being on roids. Like, right? Like, imagine that happens. I wouldn't be surprised, truly.
I've convinced myself that this was the vocal minority, usually in the fitness category, driving to an unproductive conversation. And I had convinced myself that this would be the wrong message to send to the 15-year-old boys.
The wrong message is that you're promoting a physique which is not obtainable naturally to people, and you're creating body dysmorphia. You're making people want to obtain your physique, but they're not going to take roids. They're just going to take your supplements, and they're going to want to strive to be a certain size when they cannot, because they're not taking roids. They're not taking the true thing or catalyst for your size. That's a problem. It's not a good message. And also, I mean, we can sit here and talk about all the health problems that come with high amounts of red meat and the terrible diet you're promoting and the lack of fiber. But we don't even need to go there. Like, we get to strictly talk about the body image problems that you're promoting, and also just the unethicality of trying to make money off of people in this way and using your physique and saying like, oh, I'm not taking any of this stuff, when again, you are. And of course I want to talk about the animal rights aspect of this. I think Joey Carbstrong did a fantastic job discussing what no one else is talking about, and that this dude is promoting a lifestyle which primarily entails the consumption of animal products, which also entails the commodification, exploitation, and murder of animals. Go to Joey's video about that. He goes into it way more in depth than I'm going to go into it here, because I want to focus today on his lies. But yeah, I mean, again, this guy's message also entails just the murder of billions of beings. And if everybody were to adopt his lifestyle, that murder would go up immensely. So not only is there a lying aspect that pertains to humans and marketing and scamming people and getting them to think that his supplements will get them to his size when really his size is from steroids, but it's also that he's telling people to go ahead and consume these products which require animals to be bred, exploited, and murdered perpetually, which is obviously horrific. It's ironic that many people are talking about, aside from his lies and stuff like that, his message was still good. No, his message dietarily terrible. Ethically, in regards to animals, terrible. Probably the most unethical diet, because, a standard American diet in regards to animal rights entails less animal rights violations than his, which is like primarily animal products.
Bigger and deeper hole. I have only myself to blame. I did that. And it was all wrong. I will be better. I will talk about it openly, because I believe that there's a time and a place for pharmacological intervention monitored and managed by a trained hormone physician.
There is a time for that. A lot of people will have low testosterone as they get older and older. Is there a time and place for the dosages that he's taking for just commonplace living? Of course not. His dosages were fucking insane. This man was spending $10,000 to $15,000 per month on his stack. If he's going to refer to his instance of using PEDs as a sign or something in support of the proposition that there is a time and place for pharmacological intervention by a trained hormone clinician, that's just insane. His instance of doing this is for marketing. It's for his body dysmorphia, because he probably wants to be insanely big. It's to promote his ancestral lifestyle. The dosage he's taking is insane, and no person, at least to my own knowledge, needs that amount of hormone replacement just for feeling normal. He's not doing this to kick ass in life and to feel amazing. Also, I wanted to say, if this is what our ancestors did to thrive, then why do we need pharmacological intervention, right? So him taking this stuff takes away from his whole message that this is adequate, this is sufficient.
In 2021, when I was 43 years old, I didn't feel 100% physically or cognitively. So I went to get monitored and managed by a trained hormone clinician to see what the fuck was going on with my life. And so yes, it's true. I have tried several peptide combinations in an effort to increase my growth hormone, and it didn't work, meaning that my levels still remained below the normal level. So yes, it's also true that I've tried pharmaceutical grade growth hormone, and I finally found success in managing therapeutic levels in the normal range.
His lifestyle, which he's marketing as like all you got to do, was not sufficient for him. Like, imagine if he talked about that in all of his marketing. Oh, and by the way, like, this doesn't work for me. I'm on hormones. people would be way less likely to buy his supplement. So of course he withheld this truth. And again, the irony of like pointing out that vegans might be missing X nutrients that are needed and vital for hormone production, while he himself is just over here injecting himself, trying to get to optimal levels of growth hormone. Not even like some crazy level to compete in bodybuilding, just like a normal range that's within the commonplace reference range for your average man. Of course he didn't mention this stuff, dude. It would take away from his business, which ultimately is his motivator. If his primary motivator was to help people, he would mention this. He would talk about pharmacological intervention for people that are hurting, that are following this stuff, but still have these problems. If he had that primary goal at the forefront of his mind, he would have talked about this earlier. Doesn't that make sense, like logically? But of course, if your motivation is money and selling a particular product, then no, you're not going to mention that, because that would take away from people buying his supplements. They would say, oh, perhaps it's not the supplements I need. Perhaps it's the other thing that he's not selling, which is steroids and peptides.
Yes, this is true. I've continued on with 0.6 cc's of testosterone per week, roughly 120 milligrams of testosterone a week. And no, I don't take any other steroids like Nandrolone or Winstrol, but I have tried them in the past without success.
I don't even know if I believe this. It could be true, but it's hard to believe him after this, after the amount of lies he's spit out.
Yes, it's also true that my blood chemistry got all fucked up while taking Nandrolone and Winstrol. My lipids got all deranged. My liver enzymes went sky high, which is why clinical oversight is an absolute must.
So the Liver King was having liver problems. Very indicative of being a Liver King, having a shitty liver.
Nope. The Liver King brand has had nothing, or at least very little, to do with my business success. My companies were already kicking ass, already successful before the Liver King public figure, growing at 50% year over year and still growing at the same pace after the Liver King public figure.
That is so hard to believe. Anybody who's familiar with social media and how much reach it can bring to a business is going to have a hard time believing that. If you look at his level of reach from the moment he started to now, he's at millions of followers who had no idea who he was, who very likely had no idea about his business. And he's saying that his level of growth hasn't changed whatsoever. It's been the same. It's been constant. Insane. There's no shot. He should provide evidence of that if he could. I don't think he will.
Nope. I've never had ab implants, ab etching, or any other plastic surgery, and I sure as fuck never actually had gene editing done in Singapore.
He probably didn't have those things happen. And it's great that he has these other really absurd accusations to be sincerely honest about, to take away from the clear lie that he got caught with, right? He's not an honest person. Just because he can be honest about these couple things doesn't mean that we should, trust him here on out.
Made all of that up. It was all intended to be a joke, and that's an expression of ancestral 10 and 10. Have a little goddamn fun. Ultimately, why do I do them? When I talk
I wonder if he put that sigh in the script, just as like sigh in asterisks.
about the 85% of the population that suffers from self-esteem issues, that's me. I'm part of that statistic. This is why I fucking work myself to death in the gym. This is why I do 12 to 15 blood-burning workouts a week, just to feel like I'm okay. Still, I have to absolutely crush myself to do so, and I'm wrecked physically and cognitively, and hormone replacement has helped in a profound and significant way. And still, I believe that the path to paradise is paved in fucking hell. I previously have said in a weird way, I'm grateful for the recent events that have shed light on this complicated as fuck topic. I knew I needed to take this opportunity to openly discuss everything.
Yeah, and that's going to take away a lot from your ancestral message now that everybody knows that you're on shit. I mean, we already knew, but let's say the gullible people that were convinced that you were not on shit. And by the way, the people that thought he was natural, a lot of people are calling them stupid and like, how dumb are you? But to be honest, guys, like if you're not new, if you're new to the fitness world and you don't really have a concept of what is and isn't natural, like you can't blame these people for not knowing. And he knows that too, by the way. He knows that people that first come into this, they don't have a full-blown idea of like what is and isn't natural. So he can tell these people, and especially these like little kids, hey man, I'm natty, whatever. And they're going to believe him.
For me to be a better human, If there are any questions that remain unanswered, send them my way. I fully own that I fucked up. I am as sorry as a man can be. And all I can do is take extreme ownership right now, be better, and lead myself to a better life as a better human. Again, thank you to everyone for the support, the criticism, the love, the hate, and above all else, the loyalty. Liver King.
Yeah, so again, if his primary motivator was helping people, he would have mentioned this steroid usage in the past already. He would have talked about how some people will follow these tenets and follow all these dietary patterns he's promoting, but still have these problems. But of course, that wouldn't be good for his business. His primary motivator was not helping people. It was making money. And that's probably one of the things that's driving him to make this apology video in the first place. Of course, we established earlier that he has no choice but to make this video because the evidence is so clear that he, lied. And he knows that if he were to not make this video, it would definitely take away from his credibility. So him making this video and apologizing and, saying, I'm going to be honest and this is what a man should do. He's appealing to his niche. He knows how his niche works. They're this weird, hyper masculine chasing group of people who will respond to language like that, saying I need to come forward and be a man and, integrity comes first. And these people are so silly that they don't realize the only reason he apologized was because he got caught. If he hadn't got caught, he would have went on with the lie. He would have went on with marketing his physique as natural and something that could be obtained through buying his supplements. But he got caught, so he had no choice but to make this apology. He's full of shit. This is just another charlatan out there trying to, promote this message, this contrarian viewpoint that goes against basically all of the good science we have out there, suggesting what we should do to live optimal lives and lives filled with longevity. So yeah, I would consider Liver King to still be a joke. This apology was a joke. I'd love to talk to him. I doubt he'll want to talk with somebody who would press him in the ways that I would. But yeah, that's kind of my overall thoughts on this apology. And I know a lot of you didn't want me to cover this topic, but I did do a poll and most said they want me to. So I did. I don't know if I will cover anything else. I'm not sure if other things will come out, but yeah, that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.
Dude,
fuck off. I don't want anything to do with you. Don't ever speak to me again. You're a fucking piece of shit.
Even vegans don't get your weird, stupid wannabe sense of irony here. Who is your audience? Nobody gets these dumb jokes. Dude,